In this video, we're going to be looking at the relationships with common data services. Common data services new features are, relationship one-to-many or many-to-one. On my case, I'm going to be using a service request, and then the service request custom entity has relationships to other entities. These relationships, we're going to be looking at it, and these are actually lookup fields. So let me find the entity. So here's the entity, system service request. And as you can see, I have account name, contact name, lead name, assigned to, and assigned to is a lookup field with the users. And then the last one, I have a service type. Service type is not a lookup, it's actually an option set. And then this field, it's a little bit different. The option sets are actually a list of options that you can have, and these are all the values that I have for this option set. One of the things that I have in common for option sets and lookups is you don't use the label or the name. You use the value to actually, when you're doing an update or when you're doing an insert or an adding a record. So for the option sets, it's the value, and here's how I can find the value. This is the value that I'm going to be using. So let's go back. For the lookups, one of the things that's going to happen is that the ID is going to be the value that you're going to be using, and that one is actually a GUID. So let's look at the application. So on this application, I created the service request gallery. And on the gallery, you can see I have all the information about all those fields. And this is how I applied that relationship. So I only have, let me show you this. I only have one data connection, which is the service request, and I'm using the common data service. No other connection. It's only one connection, or it's only one connection to one custom entity. And then through that connection, I can go through get the relationship through all the other custom other entities or custom entities. So let's go back, and this is how I can get to the name. As you can see, I get to the account name, which is the custom field that I created on my custom entity. Then if I say dot, now I have the list of all the account fields that are available. In my case, I want to say I want the name, and if I go look for the list, here it is. The name is on the first item. Similar, I can do the same thing with the contact name, but on the contact name, I don't use the name. I use the full name of the person. Same thing with the system user or the users. I use the full name. The same thing with the lead. I can use the full name, or I can actually go in and do it, more interesting. I can say first name, and then I select the first name, and then I say, and then comma, and then concatenate with this item dot ASC lead name dot last name, and there it is. So I get exactly the same thing. Now I have just a comma and the name. So let's go and see how this one it is working. So these are all the fields that I have right now. And then let's go and check one of the records. So I created another screen, and this screen has all the values for not only the label, but also the GUID. So you can see that the GUIDs are different. And then also for the option set, I have the name or the label, and then I have the value for that option set. So let's look at this screen. So on this field, I have the name, and then the next one is the account ID. The same thing with contacts, full name, and then the contact ID, and so on. So for this one, it's just the service type, and then you will see that this one is named a little bit different. This one is the service type, but this is the label. So that's the way you can actually see the difference between the two. So now when you're actually trying to save this information into your PowerApps or Flow, the only thing that you have to do remember is, to send not the label or the name, but to send the value. In this case, for the lookups, you send the GUID, or for the option sets, you send the value. Okay, hope this helps.